Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our program today. I'm Gina, and I'm the coordinator of the Veterans Resource Center at Skyline College. And for those that do not know, Skyline College is part of the San Mateo County Community College District in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is made up of 3 colleges: Skyline, College of San Mateo, and Kenyatta College. Each college has a veteran center and a coordinator like myself, and all 3 of us work together to help connect students, faculty, and staff with resources and services for veterans and the military-connected community.
Hi, and I'm Kathleen Mink. I'm a social worker for the San Francisco VA Student Veteran Health Program. Our Student Veteran Health Program provides assistance with enrolling and navigating VA healthcare, as well as other VA programs and resources. We have team members in various schools throughout Northern California, and I'm proud to be the representative who is assigned to work with Skyline College.
We've been fortunate to build strong partnership with Calvet's California Transition Assistance Program team members who've supported our district both in person and now virtually. And the partnership has grown even stronger than ever. We're excited that you have the opportunity to hear about the wonderful resources and opportunities available through the VR&E program and Calvet today. There will be resources highlighted that are local to the San Francisco Bay Area, as well as state resources, so we hope that there'll be something for everyone.
I also wanted to mention that if you have any questions specific to Skyline College, Veteran Services or VRC, or VA Healthcare, our information will be on the last slide of the slide deck, and you're welcome to contact us if you have other questions about that. At this time, I'd like to invite Jana from CalTAP to take over. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you so much, Kathleen and Gina, for the warm welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. As they said, my name is Jana Adams, and I am one of the CalTAP training coordinators on the California Transition Assistance Program team at Calvet. And we are so excited to be working with Kathleen and Gina today and be able to give you guys some great benefits and resources. Before we get started with the program today, I do just want to go over just a few quick housekeeping items. I'm going to go to the next slide here. So while we're on today, if you guys would please utilize the mute function and also keep your cameras turned off if you're not presenting, that's going to help minimize any distractions for the presenters. It's also going to help us with the bandwidth as we go from slide to slide. If for any reason you have to leave or you get kicked off for some reason, just use that same link that you used to join and just jump right back on and we'll let you right back in. And then as we're going through the presentation, there is a chat function. It's on the little menu bar, either at the top or the bottom of your screen. And we want to make this interactive. So if you guys have questions about what's going on, about what's being discussed as the webinar is happening, ask them directly to CalTAP questions in the chat function. If you haven't used the chat function before, these are just some brief directions. Just click on the chat either at the top or the bottom, and then you can click on CalTAP questions and we can ask, you can ask them. And then agenda-wise, next up, we're going to have Zeffirino talk about the VR&E resources and benefits that we can offer you guys. And then we'll be able to ask him questions directly. And then I'm going to jump back on and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some California benefits that you guys can have access to. And then also some different benefits such as what our local interagency network coordinators can do, and also what the county veteran service officers can do for you guys as well. And as we're going through the webinar, we have Jennifer, who's also on the CalTAP team with me. She's going to be putting different links and resources right in the chat function, so that way you guys have access to them as we're speaking. And then if you guys have any questions, she'll either answer them or direct them to the speaker who has knowledge on the subject. So we're going to go ahead and get going. We're going to start with Zeffirino, and he's going to talk to you guys all about the Veteran Readiness and Employment program. So whenever you're ready, Zeffirino.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you very much. As Jana indicated, thank you for the warm welcome. And I am with the Department of Veterans Affairs here to speak about the VR&E program. Next slide, please. So the VR&E program is our office. Let me start with our offices first. Our offices are our main office in Oakland, California, downtown Federal Building. We are currently serving about 4,600 veterans in the VR&E program. We have about 38 professional staff consisting of, we have professional staff consisting of 38 rehab counselors, 2 employment coordinators. We do have support staff and VR&E officer, assistant officer, and 2 supervisors. Again, our main office is the Oakland Federal Building downtown. We have a satellite office in Sacramento / Rancho Cordova that's fully staffed when out of COVID, obviously. And we also have an office, a satellite office in Fresno. Our Fresno office is also fully staffed with about 8 counselors. Our Monterey office at Stockton and Travis Air Force Base consists of 1 VRC in each of those locations. Next slide, please. So the intent of the VR&E program is to provide veterans and service members who have acquired a service-connected disability guidance to succeed as they transition into the civilian life. And we do that by providing the support services necessary that may include other service providers as well. For at work, we provide the services necessary leading to suitable employment. And on campus, we do have support services there as well to assist in the training and education process. For at home, we do have a program for at home for veterans who are unable to develop a vocational goal because of their disability. So their main service that we're providing is to assist them to live as independently as possible on a day-to-day basis, both at home and in the communities. So to apply for the VR&E program, you must be eligible, first of all. The eligibility criteria is as follows. For veterans, you must have an honorable discharge or other than a dishonorable discharge, a VA service-connected disability rating of 10% with a serious employment handicap, or a memorandum rating of 20%, and you must apply for the VR&E program to be considered. For active duty service members, the expectation that you will depart military with an honorable discharge must be present. You must obtain a VA memorandum rating of 20% or more, and also obtain a proposed disability evaluation rating. The service members who are awaiting a discharge due to illness, medical conditions, or disabilities acquired during the line of duty may automatically qualify for the VR&E program under the National Defense Authorization Act of 2008. And also, you must apply for the VR&E program to be considered. Next slide, please. The VR&E program does provide a maximum 48 months of entitlement, must be used within the first 12 years after separation, or within the first 12 years after the initial VA disability rating notification was received, whichever is latter. The only exception to that is for veterans who are considered to have a serious employment handicap. The 12-year, 48 months, generally we can go beyond that. The other caveat to that is that effective January 5th of 2021, anyone who separated from military after January 1st, 2013, the period of eligibility does not apply. So that's actually a good thing. Next slide, please. So this is basically the roadmap that we follow, folks. The first step, obviously, is the application process where the veteran's eligibility is established. appointments are scheduled, and then we invite the veteran over to our orientation. Once the veteran participates in orientation, the assessments, inventory, et cetera, a determination of disability, employment disability is determined. Once that is determined, you move on to the next phase, which is the evaluation and planning process. During the eval and planning process, you will select one of the 5 tracks that are in blue here. The reemployment track, rapid access to employment, self-employment, employment through long-term services, and again, the independent living track. Once you completed your initial program, then you are moved on to the employment services phase. In this phase, you're actually provided with job search skills training, resume development, job placement assistance, referrals to other service providers such as DOL, Department of Labor. Once you have secure employment, we monitor your progress for a minimum of 60 days, and thereafter, we close your case as a successful placement. Next slide, please. So to get a little bit more into the weeds of the 5 tracks, the very first track is the reemployment track, is a return to work where you previously held a job, and is designed for individuals separating from active duty, National Guard or Reserve, okay? The rapid access to employment, this particular track is reserved for veterans who want to get back to work as quickly as possible as soon as separation. They have the marketable and employable skills to make that become a reality. The self-employment track is for claimants who have the necessary job skills to start a business. Now, this particular track is designed for veterans and service members who have limited access to traditional employment or may require more accommodating work environments. This particular track is the most difficult for veterans, okay? And one of the reasons being is that this track was created with the intent of helping veterans who couldn't work full-time, work at their pace. However, anyone who knows self-employment understands that part-time self-employment generally leads to further unemployment in many cases. So the employment through long-term services, this particular track is the one that veterans pursue the most. It's designed for individuals and veterans who require specialized training and or education to develop the skills necessary to be marketable in the labor force. And of course, the independent living track, again, this particular track is for veterans who cannot pursue a vocational goal, but do need assistance in day-to-day living both at home and in their communities. Next track. So the VR&E program, the focus of this program is basically to provide employment services. As noted earlier, 4 of the 5 tracks in the rehab program are specific to employment. Some of the services you can expect to receive are the evaluation and planning, aptitude, interest inventories, et cetera, career counseling and rehab planning, work readiness preparation. I mentioned earlier the resume development and job seeking skills and interviewing skills, et cetera. We provide that along the way. Job accommodations if necessary, and job placement assistance, not only by us, but other service providers that have partnered with us. So the post-employment follow-up is the 60 days that I talked about, and most veterans within 60 days were able to close their case. However, there are some that may require a little bit longer monitoring, just to make sure that that particular veteran stays in that position and adjusts well to their new environment. We have other services that we provide and leverage, including the Special Employer Incentive Program, where veterans might work on the job or train on the job and develop their skills on the job. And we provide the employer a reimbursement of any lost wages, et cetera, that occurred during that training process. Any accommodations that might be necessary for that particular position or employer are also provided. And it requires minimal paperwork. So it's a pretty expeditious process. Next slide, please. So again, the focus of the VR&E program is the employment, and we do also refer our veterans to other service providers, such as the veteran employment centers across the nation. We do have online tools that connect veterans and employers. We also have access through the va.gov link there that it's indicated. The Department of Labor is one of our major partners, folks, and they're located at the Employment Development Department offices throughout the nation. Particular in California for us, employment assistance is provided by them as well. You will meet with the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist, the DBOP, or the local Veterans Employment Representative, the LEVR, who will work directly with you as you move into or transition into employment. Next slide, please. So we're often asked if the VR&E program is the same as the GI Bill, and the short answer to that is no. The purpose of the VR&E program, as I have mentioned a couple times, is for veterans with service-connected disabilities who, because of their barriers, have encountered some employment challenges. So we do try to provide the access to employment through one of the tracks that I mentioned earlier, leading to suitable employment. Again, 4 of the 5 tracks in VR&E are geared specifically towards employment. The E in VR&E basically stands for our program mission, employment. The other question that we were asked is, which program should I use first, the GI Bill or Chapter 31? My recommendation, folks, and I'll explain why, is to use the VR&E program first. Reason being is that if you use the GI Bill first, any months that you use during your GI Bill are subtracted from VR&E. However, if you use VR&E first, your GI Bill remains intact. So you could end up with 7 years of services versus 4 years. Next slide, please. So we do also administer other programs such as Chapter 18 and 35. For Chapter 18, the VR&E provides services to eligible dependents born with spina bifida and or other congenital disabilities with the goal of suitable employment, of course. VR&E does provide training and other rehabilitative services needed to get you to that point, to the employment point. Under Chapter 35, we do provide those benefits as well and administer some of those benefits. And this is for dependents, educational assistance. The educational benefits provided to eligible dependents of veterans who have either passed away or have been involuntarily detained or determined to have a permanent and total service-connected disability and will not be going back to work. Next slide, please. So other programs include the Vet Success on Campus. I mentioned earlier the transitioning process in education. We do have some counselors stationed across some of the colleges and universities across the nation that will assist not only service members and veterans, but eligible dependents as they go or move through the educational process. For the integrated disability evaluation system, we do have some counselors, again, assisting service members that are wounded, ill, or injured. And these folks are actually stationed at some military installations. For Chapter 36, the Education and Career Vocational Counseling Services, VR&E does provide assistance to service members, veterans, and eligible dependents as they move through the program. Next slide, please. The Chapter 36 is basically geared towards, again, service members, veterans, and eligible dependents. The education career, we do provide education and career vocational counseling services for veterans and service members to get the personalized counseling necessary in order to get them through the VR&E program and into their new careers. We ensure that the most effective use of the VA benefits in order to achieve your established goals. So who is eligible for the Chapter 36? Basically, any transitioning service member who are within 6 months prior to discharge from active duty, or veterans who within 1 year following discharge from active duty. Any service member, veteran currently eligible for the VA education benefit is eligible for this program to request his services. And all current VA educational beneficiaries qualify for this particular chapter. Next slide, please. So applying for services. The one thing that I do want to establish, folks, that there is an eligibility criteria to apply for services. It doesn't necessarily mean you're entitled. So the entitlement comes thereafter. But to apply for services, basically, again, www.va.gov, that's our main hub. And the link provided there below that, it actually takes you directly to the application that you need to submit. Now, there are several ways to submit the application. Online is probably the quickest and the easiest. However, if you would like to send it snail mail, like what I call snail mail, we do have 56 regional offices that you can either hand deliver the application to, or you send it to the address below, and from there it will be disseminated to the correct regional office. We do have 56 regional offices around the US, so depending on where you're at, that's where the application will go to. Next slide, please. So this is my contact information. I'm more than happy to answer any questions, either today or thereafter. If something comes up later on, feel free to reach out to me, and be more than happy to work with you and address any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you so much, Zeffirino. Jen, while Zeffirino was talking, did any questions come up?
Actually did get quite a bit of questions. So let's start at the top. That's what I think that'll make the most sense, honestly. Somebody says, I have a VVRAP letter, but I want to use it in San Francisco.
The VRAP is so the question is what? You can pretty much use it anywhere. So I'm not understanding the question, I guess.
Yeah. Stephen, if you would like to expand on that, go ahead and write it in the chat. The next thing was, we asked if there's a recording of this, and yes, we are definitely recording it, and it will be available up on our website, and I put that in the chat also. The next question we got was, is the VVRAP housing allowance based on school zip code?
Oh, yes. If I can backtrack a little bit, if you have your GI Bill, if you're eligible for the GI Bill and the VAH rate, the one thing that I want to stress, if you hear nothing else today, folks, hear this, okay? If you're using your GI Bill, as long as you have 1 day left of your GI Bill, then we are able to capitalize on the VAH rate. And yes, it is based on the zip code of the school and where you're located, where you're attending school. And it's also, if you're attending online, is a different amount.
So as long as you have the GI Bill, it'll be according to the VAH rate. So the question is like, okay, let's say they didn't use their GI Bill at all, but they still have access to it. Will they be granted the VAH rate? Yeah,
so they come to VR&E first, and they retain their full GI benefit. Absolutely, they will be able to capitalize on the VAH rate.
Awesome, awesome. The next question is, do I need to upgrade one of my 0% in order to use this program?
Could you repeat the question, please?
They said, I need to upgrade one of my 0% then. They're asking, they have 0% right now. In order to use this, would they have to have 10%?
They would have to have a minimum of 10% with a serious employment handicap or 20% with an employment handicap.
Next question, is it possible that a veteran is eligible but not qualified to use VR&E? Please provide examples of what situations would disqualify an eligible from using VR&E. Is the orientation virtual, telephone, face-to-face? I'm interested in attending an orientation. How do I schedule that orientation? That's a lot.
Yeah, the first part, and I may have to go back over that question, but the first part you would have to do is submit the application that I mentioned earlier through va.gov. That's where it starts. And again, depending on how you submit the application, if it's online, you can expect a call from us probably within 4 to 6 weeks. If it's snail mail, we're looking at anywhere between 6 to 10 weeks. So,
all right.
And please repeat the question because I know it was a lengthy question. So,
and then they also asked, the orientation, is it virtual, telephone, or face-to-face?
So the orientation currently is virtual.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they asked, how would they schedule that?
So through the application process.
Great. Okay.
And
then
that's something about eligibility and.
Is it possible that the veteran is eligible but not qualified to use VR&E?
Yes. So the eligibility portion is just to apply. Okay. The entitlement portion is determined after you meet with a counselor. Now I'm not a counselor, so you would be meeting with me, but once you meet with a trained rehab counselor, they will go through the whole program with you and determine whether entitlement is able to be determined.
Okay. The next question is the CWT a mandatory requirement to use VR&E program employment through long-term services program?
No, the CWT is a VHA program. The VR&E program is a BBA program.
Okay. Veterans Business Administration Program. All right. Somebody says, I used up my post 9/11 last year, plus last year was my 15-year date. Can they still use this program? And how does that affect them?
Again, you have 12 years from the time you separate from military, or 12 years from the time you were declared to have a VA disability rating from the initial notification. So whichever is latter.
Okay.
So not knowing when you were determined to have a VA disability rating, it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, definitely. So it says total VR&E time is 3 years and total GI Bill is 4 years. Is that correct? Use VR&E before GI Bill?
So negative. The GI Bill is 36 months and the VR&E program is 48 months. So you got that reversed. But yeah, the recommendation would be to use the VR&E program first, because that way you retain your GI Bill long-term. If you use your GI Bill first, then we subtract whatever months you used under the GI Bill. We subtract that from the VR&E program. That's just by law.
So if the veteran uses VR&E first and then the GI Bill, would it be a combination of 84 months?
Correct. They would be entitled to the equivalent of 7 years of benefits.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, up to 48 months. Up to 48 months under the VR&E program, and of course, up to 36 months under the GI Bill.
Great. The next question is.
And can I just add a clarifying piece on that one too. That's if the individual is eligible for the maximum amount, correct? Because everyone may have different eligibility in terms of the amount of months that they have.
For the
Yes.
GI Bill, yes.
And then up to for the VR&E, it's up to. So
It is
they
up to
could be,
30.
yeah, somebody could say, okay, you're up to 12, you have 12 months, but up, it's possible to get up to 48 months possible. All right, let's see. There's a lot of questions here. Let's go down a little bit more. I am a veteran that experienced a water drought for 4 years. I had to pay for a new water well out of my own pocket. Is there any compensation for this, just like veterans who experience fire damage? I don't think that would apply to this. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't have an answer for that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was reading through thinking it was going to come up, but please give us a call. Our number at Calvet is, and I also put in the chat our link map. The links are the local interagency network coordinators. They would know about different resources in your specific area that might be able to assist you. So download that link map that I sent you, or you can call us at 1-800-952-5626. And I'll put that in the chat for you guys also. So I am currently enrolled in school at a national university, San Diego, California, and I have 11 months benefits currently left. Are there any programs that can reinstate my benefit back to 36 or 48 months so I can continue college and receive housing allowance?
It depends if you are using the GI Bill or the Chapter 31 program. I'm not clear on that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you haven't used the Chapter 31 program and you're using the GI Bill, then again, apply for Chapter 31 if you have a service-connected disability and get an evaluation with a counselor there in San Diego. We do have 3 offices, by the way, 3 regional offices in California. It's the only state that has 3. We have one in San Diego, we have a regional office in LA, and then of course, the one that I mentioned in Oakland.
Here's a question. I'm going to just I'm going to reword it, but they're asking how much is the VR&E if you do not have the GI Bill?
Excuse me?
How much is the VR&E if they don't have the GI Bill? So the GI Bill is based on the BAH. So VR&E, if you didn't have that, would be based on
the stipend. Yes.
Yes, the stipend.
That also depends. I believe right now it's at $640 for individuals, and it goes up to I believe somewhere around $30 or $40 per dependent. So it just depends on how many dependents you have. If it's just one individual, then you get in the 600 plus rate. I can't remember the exact amount, but it's significantly less than the BAH rate.
That is correct, definitely. So it's something definitely you need to take in consideration. This person says, I am a VR&E participant. I received a new counselor earlier this year. How do I receive another counselor?
That's a tough question because every regional office handles it differently. I know that if you're under the Oakland regional office, we generally don't change counselors. Just because we do have an established requirement to hold 125 cases per counselor. So to move veterans around to other counselors may overwhelm the other counselor. So it's basically controlled by our leadership. If you're having difficulties, I would say reach out to our leadership and see what we can do as far as any concerns that you may have. We can address those.
Great advice. The next question, I'm just going to reword it really quick. And they want some explanation or maybe bigger understanding of the big change that happened April 1st about using the VR&E and GI Bill, why that is
Yes, so earlier when I mentioned that that if you departed military after January 1st, 2013, and again, as of January 5th of 2021, that no longer applies. That's what the 48-month rule was established. And again, in line with that would be to leverage the VR&E program first prior to GI Bill in order to maintain or retain that GLB, the educational program.
Sounds good. The next question. Thanks for that. How long does the entitlement decision supposed to take? I understand I have a unique situation, but I haven't received an update since I met with VRC since September 22nd.
Okay, so one of the things that we need to make sure that is that when a counselor requests a certain documents, we have up to 10 days to make a determination. Okay, but we have to have all the documentation in place in order to make the decision. If there's some documents that have been requested, as insignificant as they may seem to you, we are required to have those documents by law in order to make that solid determination. So if that's where you fall, then I would reach out to the counselor and say, hey, what is needed? What else do I need to do in order to facilitate that determination?
Yeah. So we had another question here, and it's more specific to their situation. And I think instead of reading it out loud, I just want to say, if you guys have specific questions about your file or your requests, I would definitely go and speak to your counselor or give them a call on the va.gov website for the Veterans Readiness and Employment. Is that good advice, Zephyrina?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just really difficult to discuss your particular case, especially when there's a lot of other folks that are listening in. So we just try to respect your privacy. My recommendation would be to reach out to your counselor, set up an appointment, and discuss your case in detail.
Great, good. So the next question is, what are the qualifications to be considered on self-employment track? I tried so many times and they give me a hard time to be qualified in San Diego. I also think most veterans don't get this track because it is hard to get. So how or what are the key points can qualify?
That would have to be discussed with your rehab counselor directly. Again, they have a list of a checklist that they have to go through, a criteria that they have to meet in order to support a plan such as self-employment. And not necessarily just self-employment, but any of the tracks that we provide, we have to submit the solid documentation to prove that the eligibility determination was legit and that the entitlement is legit.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jen, it looks like I do see that we do have a number of questions still, but to focus on time for the rest of the webinar, why don't we hold off on these questions until we're done with the next section? We can go on. Why don't we do actually just one last question from this section, and then we'll move on, and then we'll keep continuing asking these questions after we move on. Does that work?
That definitely works. So let's go to the last question. It says, I used my GI Bill about 10 years ago before I was given a 70% service connected rating. Is there a way to get the full VR&E 48 months?
I believe there is. If you were determined eligible, or if you were rated after you used your GI Bill, again, remember, it's 48 months after you've determined to be to have a service connected disability by the VA. So I would definitely apply and have a counselor review my case and let them know exactly what you just said. Hey, you know what? This happened before I even had a VA disability rating.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to hand it over to you now, Jana.
If I may say one more thing with regard to that one. If you're determined to have a serious employment handicap, it's a moot point. again, we can provide the services that are needed in order to get that veteran from point A to point B to employment.
Yeah, that's really great, Zephyrino. Thank you so much for answering these questions, and we're probably going to have some more for you a little later, so stay
I'll
tuned.
be here. I'll be here.
Again, kind of what just piggybacking off what Jennifer said, if you guys have the specific questions, reach out directly to him. It is kind of hard to answer. We don't want to give out too many details, of course, of your personal situation. So, okay, so we are going to move on to the next section, which is going to be me coming back on. Again, my name is Jana. I'm on the CalTAP team, and I'm really excited about this section because I want to just give you guys just kind of, a snapshot glance of the benefits that you can receive while living in California. And then I'm also going to go over what our local interagency network coordinators, or our links, what they do and the resources that they can offer, and then also what the County Veterans Service Office can do. I'll kind of go over just briefly a little bit of that, and I may go over some of this stuff a little bit fast. So if you have questions about that, either put them in the CalTAP questions, or you can always reach out to us later and we can give you more clarification. And I'm going to tell you how you can reach out to us, all that stuff. So, so we'll go ahead and get going. So you're probably wondering, I've said this CalTAP, California Transition Assistance Program. I've said that a couple times today. You're probably wondering what that is. And the goal of the CalTAP team is to inform and connect veterans of all eras to their federal and state benefits. The way that we do that is we offer information through 5 pathways. These pathways are core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, and service providers. And we know as time goes by, so as you guys go from year to year, decade to decade, the benefits that you're needing are going to change, and the resources that you're going to need to access are going to change as well. So we want you to know that we're going to keep providing you that support, that assistance that you'll need through the years and through the decades. So all the information that I'm going to talk about today is right on our website. It's in the Veterans Resource Book. I'm looking for that right now on my desk so I can pull it up. Here it is. So I'm going to go through this information. That way you'll know where to find things. And please know that we are here for you anytime when you do need us. Okay, so like I just mentioned, the Veterans Resource Book, I have my copy right here. You guys, this is like gold. Jen is going to put a link. I think she already did put a link to the Veterans Resource. She's going to do that again if she hasn't. This book right here has everything you guys need. It has all your resources and benefits listed out, how to get them. If you need to go to a certain website, it'll tell you if you need a form, things like that. And then also on the back of it, there's this 1-800 number right here. This 800 number will actually get you to a live human being at Calvet. It is someone on my team with me, on the CalTAP team, or one of the links. We'll be answering your calls, and if we don't know the answer, we will direct you to who can answer it for you. Okay, so how do you guys find us online? You can just Google Calvet. We're probably the first search that will come up. Once you do, this is our website that you see. And if you click on right under the laptop where it says CalTAP, you'll go to our CalTAP webpage. And Jen will be putting all the websites in chat for you. So you guys will have this, you can just copy and paste it. But a couple quick things on our website. We've got all of our pathways listed out for you with information. And then where it's circled archives right there, once you click on that, you're going to get taken to a screen that will have any webinars that we can record. We're able to post them on the internet. So today's webinar is being recorded. And sometimes it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get posted on our webpage, but it will get posted, and we can always send you the PowerPoint slides from today's presentation if you'd like those whenever you'd like. You can just send us your email address. Okay, so moving on, how do you actually use CalTAP online? Well, you can just click on one of the pathways of information. We're going to do core curriculum because that way we can go over all the Calvet benefits. Once you click on one of the pathways, this is the style that you're going to see. Everything is presented in a module format. So, and the modules are full of information, maybe other links that you might need to click to get to an application or different websites, things like that. If you click on California benefits, that's going to give you a list of all of the different Calvet benefits that I'm about to go over right now. So what are these benefits? Well, the first major benefit that we offer is our outreach, our regional outreach. And that's what we like to call our links, or our local interagency network coordinator. We do like to use acronyms for everything. So I know you're used to that with military background, so you already know that. But our links, I'm going to go over a little bit more what they do a little bit later, but there are 8 of them in California, and they are an amazing resource. So like I said, I'll go over a little bit more in detail a little bit later today. Okay, the college tuition fee waiver. This is one of the benefits that we get probably the most questions about. You guys may already know some information about this, but this benefit is for your dependents. This is going to waive tuition fees at any state-funded school. So it's going to include your California community colleges, your state schools, and your UCs. This will get you from your the general education all the way up through doctorate, should you want to pursue that. And there are 4 different plans that you can qualify for. They're titled plans A, B, C, and D. So our most utilized plan is Plan B. That one doesn't have an age limit, but there is an income limit for the dependent. So there's all the details is either on our website, or it's in the Veterans Resource Book, or you can always call us. And then you can always go over applications, everything like that with us. Whatever questions you have, you can ask us at that point. Okay, so there are DMV programs that veterans can take advantage of. You can actually get veteran printed on your driver's license or California ID. This is great because then you don't have to carry your 214 around, and while you're out and about, you can ask wherever you are if they have a veteran discount. And if they ask you if you're a veteran, you can just, you'll have it on your license or your ID. So that's really great. Any driver in California can get an honoring veterans license plate. All the information on the different insignias, any costs associated with that is all online or in the resource book. And then there's also a motor vehicle registration fee waiver that you may be eligible for as well. Again, check your eligibility on either online in the resource book, or you can call us for more clarification on that. If you enjoy outdoor activities, we've got a couple great benefits for you. Disabled veterans may be eligible to receive that fishing and hunting license at a reduced annual fee. And depending on what your disability rating is, you may get a state parks pass with no fees at all. So that's really a great resource. There are some beneficial tax programs that veterans can take advantage of. The first benefit is going to provide a property tax exemption to the home of a disabled veteran or to an unmarried spouse of a deceased disabled veteran. There's also the business license tax and fee exemption as well for veterans that you could qualify for. And then there is the DVBE program, or the Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Program. And that's going to be if you are wanting to sell goods to the state of California. If you want any more information on this, feel free to call us after, or you can always look in the resource book, or check out the Calvet website as well for more information. Okay, so Calvet does have their own home loans program. This is different than the VA home loans program, but an excellent program. You can actually take the VA home loan and the Calvet home loan and join them together, which is really great. We do have a representative that you can call to ask more questions. His name is Brad Pedersen. Jennifer's going to put his information in the chat. If you are at all already looking maybe for a house or interested in the near future, I definitely recommend that you go online and you look up information on our program, or you can call Brad directly and he can answer any questions for you. Calvet does have a women's veterans program, and they are going to provide information, advocacy, and outreach to support California's women veterans and their families. They actually do partner with a council that's called the California Women Veterans Leadership Council. And this is, the group is spread out all over California. They're able to get information out to one another. They're able to get information out maybe about different events happening county to county, or say if there's new legislation, things like that. They're able to get information out. This is their webpage. What you do when you go to the Calvet website, you just go to Calvet programs right here at the top. You click on that, and then you can click on women veterans. This is the page that comes up. As you can see, their email address, their phone number is right here. And then you can also click here for their roster. You can just sign up with your email address, and you can get information sent directly to you. Now, we also have a minority veterans program. They're going to provide information, advocacy, outreach, and support to California's minority veterans and their families. And they're also going to help unnaturalized veterans in California with any citizenship and naturalization services that are needed. And that right there is just such a great program. So if you need more information on that, please reach out to us so we can help you with that. This is their webpage right here. And you just, same thing, you go to CalTAP, or I'm sorry, the calvet programs here at the top. You click on minority and underrepresented veterans. And then as you can see, their email address and phone number is listed right on there, as well as their roster that you can sign up for as well to get information sent directly to you. Okay, there are 8 veterans homes that are scattered all over California. This is probably something you're not really thinking about at this point. As you can see, all the locations are listed. They offer 6 levels of care that's going to range anywhere from independent living, memory care, assisted living, and then skilled nursing care. So there are wait lists for the Calvet veterans homes. So you may not be thinking about it now, but just keep it in the back of your head. All the information on the wait list, the costs, any terms about living there, anything like that is all on our website. A lot of information is in the resource book, and then you can always call us and we can walk you through it as well. Something else that you're probably not quite thinking about yet is our state cemeteries. There are actually 9 national cemeteries in California, but beyond that, we have 3 state cemeteries. So there is one on the coast in Seaside, there's one up north in Reading, and then there is one associated with the Yountville Veterans Home, which is located in Yountville. So if you have any questions about this or need further clarification, information is online in the resource book, or you can always call us as well. I did want to just go over just a couple quick common veteran websites. You guys have probably all visited these websites already, but if you have not, they're definitely a great place to stop when you have some time. The first one is va.gov. As you can see, this is a great place to access and manage your benefits and your healthcare. And then there's also e-benefits. Lots of great things here. There's even applications for disability compensation. There's educational benefits, things you can check on. So this is a really great website to visit. And then lastly is My Health eVet. This one is just going to have, it's going to be another great resource to access and manage your healthcare. So make sure to check those out if you haven't already. And then keep in touch with us. These are just some different ways that you guys can keep in touch with us and keep up with current events that are happening with Calvet or happening in California that are going to affect veterans. So a really great way to do that would be to provide us with your non-DoD email address. Of course, you guys probably don't have DoD email addresses anymore, but provide us with that. You can send it directly to our email address, which is caltap@calvet.ca.gov. We're not going to give it out to anybody, but we will probably check on you just periodically, make sure you don't need any extra resources or benefits, things like that. There's also going to be a survey from today's webinar. It's being posted in the chat right now, or it may have already been posted. And then you're also going to get an email about it as well. We do ask that you take the webinar survey. That's going to just give us feedback on how we're doing, and also maybe give us feedback on what webinar topics that we can do in the future. You can register for My Calvet online. You just go to the Calvet webpage. And when you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the sign up for My Calvet right on your left-hand side. What's really great about that is you can kind of tailor our webpage to what your needs are. So you're going to put in a whole bunch of information about your service time, and then things that you're doing now. Are you looking to buy a house? Have you already bought a house? Did you look at Calvet home loans? Are you going to school? Have you utilized the GI Bill? What about the Calvet, or have you utilized the college fee waiver? Lots of different questions like that. So that way it'll tailor it to the information that you're needing to get will come right to you. And then you could also add us on social media. You're going to see our little QR code here in a moment, but you can add us on Facebook and then keep up with what's happening. Sometimes we post about our webinars, the events that we've gone to, events are coming in the future. Maybe there's new legislation, just new information in general we want to post. So we'll put that there. And then you can always attend our webinars. So I'm going to have a slide at the end that's going to show you some upcoming webinars that you can sign up for. if you want. But yeah, keep coming to our webinars because we'll definitely have lots of information for you. So next up, I want to give you guys some information on what the local interagency network coordinators, or the links, are. This is the link map that we've kind of been talking about. Jennifer put it in the chat already, but this is kind of gives you a snapshot that there's 8 different regions in California, so we have 8 different links. Your guys's link, I'm going to give you his information on the last slide, but your guys's link is the Bay Area link, which is Kevin. He's a really great personable guy, and he has lots of access to lots of great resources and benefits that he can offer you guys. So you're probably wondering kind of what the links are, and what they do. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to provide outreach to service members, veterans, and their families, of course. They are literally the link, you guys. They're going to link you guys to different resources in your county or in your area or in their region, basically. So they're able to make referrals and work directly with different kinds of providers or different networks of people that they've met. That way they can give, if you're, even it's things as simple as, gosh, I'm needing a discount on washers and dryers. Do you know of anything? Well, they probably do somewhere in their area. So they'll be able to introduce you. Hey, buddy, I've got this veteran here that really needs some help. I'm going to, give a warm handoff to you. And that way you guys can see, what they can do for you. Things like that you wouldn't even think of. They have referrals and benefits like that. So they are assisting with local emergencies. So these are things like, like the fires that are happening, things like that. So they're at our LACs, they're helping out, and they're there for you guys directly. They're going to provide leadership and advocacy in their local communities. So they're attending lots of events all the time. That way they can be networking and meeting people and learning new benefits and finding out more resources that are available out there for you guys. So when you are calling them and when they're working directly with us, we have those relationships that are already established. They're going to be able to link you guys to benefits or connect you guys to benefits. Employment and training. So they're working directly with EDD and the AJCCs to help you guys with that job training, with getting those jobs. So they have great resources there. And then they're also going to connect you guys to the California state benefits. So they know they're Calvet employees, so they obviously work for Calvet and know all of our benefits, and they're going to connect you to our team too if that's the direction that needs to happen. They're going to work with the county veteran service offices. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what they are and how to reach out to them in the next section, but the CVSOs are a really great resource as well, and we work right alongside those CVSOs. And I know you guys are all in school now, so you guys have this really great option of the VRC. But when that VRC is not there anymore, and when you're not in school, you probably have that relationship and may still be able to reach out to people that are there. But this is when the links and the CVSOs really come in handy for you to have a really great resource out there that you can reach out to at any time. They're also going to be able to help you guys out with your healthcare as well. So knowing people at the vet centers and at the medical centers and clinics, and being able to connect you with them when you are in need and when you don't know where to go, they'll be able to give you that resource as well. So they are a wealth of knowledge and a great resource. As I said, Kevin is your guys's Bay Area region link. This is his information. And when we go to the big question and answer slide, his information is going to be on there as well again. So I'm going to move forward, but you guys will see this info again. Okay, so next up, I just want to give you a little information about the County Veteran Service Offices, or the CVSOs. Again, we use lots of acronyms for everything. So what does the CVSO do? Well, they're going to provide veterans and dependents with free benefit information, assistance, and counseling. So there's one word in this sentence that's so important, the word free. So you guys, if you guys are ever needing help filling out an application or looking at a benefit and someone is trying to charge you, do not give them your information. Do not give them anything. They are not there to help you. So this information is always free. That's what the CVSOs do. That's what we do. We'll direct you to them. They are not state employees. They do work for the county. So we don't have any jurisdiction on, what the office does or doesn't do, but I can tell you they're all certified and they can help you fill out anything veteran related. So any forms or applications they're able to help you with that and make sure it's done correctly. We're going to talk a little bit about in a moment what they, some of the assistance that they can do, but please know that all their assistance is free and it's there for you. So how do they do this? Well, lots of different types of assistance. I'm not going to go through every single one of these. I'm going to go through a couple of them. The main one I want to talk about though is the claim and compensation. That kind of has to do with the whole this whole webinar today. They can help you if you have not filed a claim. They'll help you get started with that process and make sure it's done correctly. You do have the option of doing your claims on your own, but we don't recommend that. It's always good to have someone that has done this before help you. That way you're getting it done correctly and as quickly as possible too. But all these other types of assistance too that they can help with benefits counseling and dependency. Well, I mean, you guys can read all of this here, but if you guys have further questions on what the CVSOs can do, please reach out to us. Now I want to show you guys how you can find them. All the information for all the different counties are located in our resource book, as you can see here, but you can also go to our website. You just Google Calvet and then right up at the top where it's circled, find a service provider. You click on that. This is the screen that you see. You can either click on where it says show all veteran service offices by county. It'll pull up a list of all the counties in California and you can just click on a county, or you can type in your zip code, and then you have to do all three of these. So if you do your zip code, just do a maximum distance. You can do 10, 20, or 50 miles. And then I always just click all results because then everything comes up, of course. But you can click on, if there's only certain things you want to check on, you can do that. And then a list of the CVSO offices will come up. It's also going to tell you their phone number, their address, their office hours. Some of them are only open on Wednesdays from a certain time. Some of them are Monday through Friday. So just make sure you check that. Make sure you call them before you just show up and go there. Some of them are by appointment only. Some of them are not working out of the office unless they know someone is showing up there. So just call them first. Okay, you can also find them by, find them by calling the 1-844-SERVE-VET. That's located right on the front of our website. And then this is your guys' San Mateo County Veteran Service Office. So if you guys call us, we're probably going to say, oh, what's your zip code? You're going to give that to us. And this is the information we're going to give you. This is where they're located. If you guys want to take a snapshot of this, I do not have all this information on the question and answer slide, but we can certainly send it to you if you guys do need it. So, okay, this is my information. I know that was just a ton of information in a short amount of time here, but if you guys have any further questions, you can always give us a call. And then, like I said, all of the speaker information and also Kathleen and Gina's information is here. We also like to put the GI Bill hotline number on there because that's just such a great resource if you're utilizing the GI Bill, if you have questions for them. So let's get back to some of those questions for Zeffirino. However, also my dog is really excited about the questions too. You can hear him barking. Jennifer, did other questions come in after I started?
No, we haven't had much questions after you started.
So
would
let's
you like to just do a couple from us?
Yeah.
All right. Somebody said they needed help filling out the VOC rehab paperwork. I put in the chat quite a few different resources. I put in there the va.gov website, which has a link on where to get assistance to fill out the paperwork. Also, you can do it online through eBenefits, which again, I put it in the eBenefits link, also in the chat function. Let's see. We got another message that just came in. Somebody says, what is the contact info for Fresno area? Would you know that, Zeffirino?
Are they talking about for VR&E or for, what do you think?
I put in the chat, I put in the regional office for Oakland and the regional office for LA, the VA regional office. So we'll see if that Jose expands on.
Okay.
But if you're talking about CVSO, I put that also in the chat. Just click on that link and it's going to open up all the different counties within your area. Oh, the link contact information. Yes. So the link and contact information, I put it also in the chat as a document, you guys. So you can download those documents if you like. If you're having a hard time downloading them, put your civilian email in there and I will make sure I send those over to you also. So let's get the
For Fresno, is that the county they were asking about for the link? Because that would be Annette, right?
I would have to look that up.
If it's for Fresno, whoever was asking that, you would find Annette Hulaver. I think that's how you say her last name. And she'd be your link, so you can email her directly. So.
And then the San Jose one would be the Bay Area, I believe. That's also in the chat.
And also the link information is for Kevin is right on the screen too.
Yeah, let me just get the link map back up. So it's on the bottom there. So everybody could just click on that really quickly.
Perfect.
And then Gina put in there the va.gov website that has the Oakland VA regional office in there too.
That one also has the other facilities. So if you scroll down, there's the Veteran Readiness and Employment, Oakland, Sacramento, Fresno, and Monterey contact information on that link.
Awesome. I'm going to copy, somebody just left their email, so I'm just going to copy that really quick. And then let's see, one other one. I'm having a problem downloading the attachment. Don't worry, Chicken Express, I copied down your email and I will make sure that I send that out to you. And I think that's it.
All right, well, we could go back to some of the questions for when Zeffirino was talking. I don't know if you can scroll up if there were some. I didn't know if the rest of them were more personalized or not, but there are more general ones for him.
We were getting really close to the bottom when you had.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if we had gotten that close or not.
We were really close. So let me just scan really quick just in case.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to go on to the next slide. So that way you have a moment to look for those and then we can come back to the questions. So you're not off the hook yet, Zeffirino. I had kind of mentioned this before, but we have a lot of upcoming webinars for the rest of October and in November. Lots of great topics. And you guys can sign up just like you did today on Eventbrite. That's where all of these will be. If you go to our website and you go to the CalTAP webpage and you scroll down, if you click on, it'll say list of upcoming webinars. There'll be like a little blue link, I believe, on the more on the right-hand side. And then there will be links to Eventbrite that you guys can sign up for, or you can just go to our Eventbrite page and sign up for that. I can kind of go back to this and not sure, Jennifer, if you were able to find any other questions. If not, we can.
One last question. It says, I'm currently finishing this semester, then I plan to apply for and use this after the school semester. Would it be better to apply now or apply after I complete this year's, this school semester?
You please repeat the question. You cut out a little bit.
I'm so sorry. They're just asking if they should apply. They're currently in the middle of a semester. They want to know if they should apply now for the next semester or wait until the semester's over.
Again, it just depends on where you're at with your GI Bill. As long as you have 1 day left, you can apply it at any time. Reserve your 1 day, and all you have to do is call the GI Bill and let them know that you just want to discontinue your GI Bill. Keep that 1 day though, and apply it any time really. My recommendation is apply now, and because it does take 4 to 6 weeks to get to the orientation process, and then you have to submit documentation and also attend the orientation and what have you. So my recommendation is apply now. Don't wait till the last minute. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap between semesters.
That's great advice.
The other thing I wanted to jump in here is that if you're looking to contact our Monterey office or Sacramento office, it's just best to go through our Oakland regional, because that's the main hub, and we can just direct calls from there.
That makes sense. That's good advice.
And I've got a couple of questions that came through on my side that I'd like to ask as well. And Zeffirino, you mentioned that individuals may reach out to leadership if they're having, trouble or need additional support. What would be the best way for them to do that? What's the process for them to reach out to leadership?
Give me a minute and I'll post that online. Good question. I should have been ready for that one. That email address goes directly to the leadership and is monitored by leadership. We don't get preview on that one. So
perfect. Thank you. And then another question that came through, I think this is related to the CalVet fee waiver. It says, how would the college waiver work for dual military couples?
Or dual military couples. Okay.
Either parent can be the signer for the one that has the disability rating in order to apply. So not both of them have to be eligible or just have a disability rating. And it also depends on if one has 100% and one has 20%, and the student is 26, they wouldn't, or 27, they wouldn't really qualify under that plan A. They would qualify under plan B. So I guess it just depends, but you can use either parent for the fee waiver. Yeah.
Thank you. And then I don't know if I just missed it, but Zeffirino, I'm not seeing the email address.
Oh, it's the, you did it direct. I can copy and paste that. I'll put that in everyone right now. CH31.
I just sent it to CalTAP.
That's okay.
CBAOAK.
Technology, right?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Those were great questions too. Thanks for sharing those, Gina. What about on our end, Jennifer? Do we have any other questions? I think maybe we reached the bottom.
We reached it. We did it.
Well, and you guys, thank you for asking these questions, because chances are if you have them, probably somebody else has that question too. So there's all really great information that we were able to kind of get extra info. So thank you to all the speakers. Zeffirino, you were just a wealth of knowledge on all this stuff. So thank you for joining us again. And Gina and Kathleen.
One more time.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So earlier when there was a question regarding, when would you be supported in a vocational objective? And quite frankly, it really does depend on the individual. And just because your friend had a back injury just like yours doesn't mean that you're going to get the same support. It really does depend on the individual, skills, knowledge, abilities, disability, abilities, etc. All that is taken into consideration. The other thing that where we wouldn't support you in a plan would be where the vocational goal is contradicting to your disability. In other words, let's say you want to be a construction worker, but you have a 20-pound lifting limitation. VR&E wouldn't be able to support you in that plan just because of the contradiction to the limitation. We don't want you to get further injured in the process of employment. So the goal here is identifying a job that is suitable, both physically and mentally, and that's going to provide you, the suitability or employability necessary to get, at least make some extra funds, money.
Okay, that's really great. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for sharing all of your knowledge with us today. You guys, Zeffirino is there, and reach out to him or the Oakland regional office directly too. That's what they're there for. Gina, Kathleen, thank you guys so much for letting us come join you today and get this information out. And Jennifer, thank you so much for handling all the questions and getting all the information in the chat as we were all talking. As we said, there's lots of webinars coming up, so we'd love to see you guys all again. Tell your friends too. And here is the CalVet information. That's that 1-800 number that I told you guys about that will get you to a live person to answer your questions. And then there's our website and also the CalTAP email address, and then our Facebook handle. You can just open up your phone camera and you hover over the QR code and it gets you a link that pops up to go to our Facebook to like. So have a really great day. Thank you guys all for your service, and congratulations on continuing your education. That's something that's really, really, really great. So keep going out there, keep up the good work, and we'll see you guys all soon.